Hi friends, this is Shomik Bishwas. You are attending my last class of that active and passive filter network and synthesis. So in this particular class we'll do our last lecture on that active filter over passive filter. So I have jotted down some point for you that what is passive filter and what is active filter here. The passive filters are based on passive elements like inductor, capacitor, etc., and which is based upon calculation type of constant k and m derived filters. But in such practice of iterative calculation of the image impedance is the basic concept right here. The design stability for interconnected network and the humming effect of the inductors has become a great fact to resolve such type of filters. So it is just considered to be in the theoretical practice. So actually what happened that if you are making one active and passive filter, so in the case of passive filters, when you are making in the base of inductor and the capacitor, all these things, these are the materialistic ones. So obviously speaking on this, that all the filters are here are materialistic. So if you are making some passive filter, it should have some passive elements. So there should be some inductor, there should be some capacitor, and the switching characteristic is very much interesting right here, that the switching characteristics of that impedance, the switching characteristic of the capacitance is not synchronized to all of them. So when the faster switching is needed, when the signal is changing its phase in a very faster way, so obviously it is not always clear that it should switch in very faster way. But in the case of active filter, the fact is this, and the active filters means it must contain some active sources inside. So obviously when the active sources are there, so obviously the switching is improved, and that VI characteristics of that active elements is also some different like that VI characteristics of that inductor and the capacitor. So what is the changes that you can see in that VI characteristics, that if you are having one active element, so the resistance which is offered by that VI characteristics is not static in nature, it is dynamic. But the dynamic resistance you can also see if you are having some current changes inside that inductor and the capacitor. So obviously there some exponent relation will be coming out. But due to the exponent relation, there should be one discussion for the transient state, because the circuit initially shows some ups and downs, some bumping, some instability. So after a few time, when it goes to the steady state, it will bridge you up a steady relation. But this time by which it basically jumps from that active phase, it jumps from the transient phase to the steady state, so it will take some time. This is called the switching speed actually. So the switching speed is very slow for that LC type of filter. It may be K type filter, it may be M derived filter. If you are going much more deeper of this, so what is the constant K, what is the M derived filter, that can be easily solved out if you are much interested in that active and passive filter. So in my future lecture I will show you what is the K filter, what is a constant K type filter, what is the M derived filter. But the switching effect is a very bigger fact. Secondly, the inductors are some particular elements which have some point of discussion. One is the humming effect. Due to the humming effect, the filter will create some problems. So what is the humming effect? You know that due to the flux linkage, the inductor will create some more flux linkage which will decay the input current. Now after decaying the input current, if the signal is so small to present for a very few minutes, so obviously it will just attenuated out, otherwise to be filtered out. So for the very small scale of signaling, the attenuation is a bigger factor. The humming effect, that will obviously a great fact to resolve. And the other thing, that the inductor should have some mutual inductance inside. So obviously you are cascading a lot of LC filter, so this type of effect will come to a very greater advantage, that the mutual inductance will do some extraordinary voltage drop or some difference in that current flow, which is not considered in that practical cases. So it is better you can practice in some theoretical practices actually, but not in that practical cases. So on the other hand, active filters are based on their transfer function, which can be optimized and controlled by different control technique. Okay, so because you can bias one diode or transistor or op amp like this, and you can control the VI characteristics. So the transfer function which is available for the filter, it can be easily calculated out very fast, you can say, because the switching speed is a mother factor. On the other hand, the use of frequency selective circuit in the active filter made it more precision instrument. So what is a frequency selective circuit? Say suppose when you are selecting one particular signal, it should have different frequency component. Now if you are selecting one particular frequency and doing low pass or high pass mechanism on this, it means a higher frequency, higher cutoff frequency, lower cutoff frequency, this calculation is being carried out. So obviously this type of filter should more precision then, because the switching speed, its advantage, and the frequency selective circuit gives only one selective frequency to be sampled out and do some filtering operation on that. So obviously the selective circuit, the frequency selective circuit, if added with that active filter, it will must make it more precision instrument. Now in the next part I will show you what is the advantages and what is the disadvantages. Now here the advantages is all, say this first one, they eliminate the need of inductor, which is large, heavy, costly and stray magnetic field creator, and of course it is a huge power loss inside this. So that is the first one. Okay, now what is the second one? That you can see that this particular filter, means this active filter, due to the absence of inductors, active filters are just comfortable with that ICs. Okay, if you are not using inductors, so they are not snatching huge voltage drop inside that circuit. So obviously the ICs are quite feeling healthy because they can't withstand with that large voltage and large current. Basically you can see maximum ICs are there having minimum type of requirement. It should have the millivolt range or some milliampere range. So if you are using some inductor, so obviously it will create some bulk effect inside the circuit and the ICs may be die down or be rejected out. Okay, so what is the next one? What is the reduction in that power composition? Obviously the active element draws less power. The fourth one is what? That the overall gain is stabilized and extent of isolation property. The overall gain can be stabilized because you can put a suitable bias to that active device, which is not applicable to that capacitor in the inductor circuit. Now the fifth point, due to the extent isolation property, active filters can be designed independently with maximum interaction. So the sixth point is high range of quality factor is possible. So what is Q? Omega L by R. So that quality factor if improved, so that omega L by R also improved. So if high range of quality factor is possible, so we can get a high quality of signal with that parameter of that amplitude, frequency and phase. That high quality can be provided if you are using the active filters. Okay, now here some discussion on some mathematical problems that already I have told you. Here one first order active low pass filter is given. As you can see that in this particular circuit it is a op amp, so one resistance, one capacitance are connected with that parallel combination. So these are the inverting and non-inverting and the inverting terminal. So we are making this way. The output we are having one Vi which is shifted to that division of this. So R2 by R1 plus R2 into Vi is supplied to this. So it is basically used as a triggering circuit. Now here if you are applying this, so how to do this equation? If this particular point of voltage, if this particular point of voltage is V, so how to write that? That V0 minus V, so it is V0, it is V. So V0 minus V by R2, that is V0. Obviously they are high input impedance, so obviously if it is 0, so it is 0. So V0 minus 0 by R1. So from this I can easily get that what is R1, it is 1 by SC, it means 1 by j omega c actually. So putting this value on this particular one, 1 by j omega c, that is R1, it means this particular one they want to mention. So that is V0 by 1 plus R2 by R1 equals to Vi by RCS. So therefore what is the transfer function finally? Hs equals V0 by V1. So V0 by V1 here A by RCS, so A by 1 plus S by omega 0. So here omega 0 is the 1 by RC. So finally if you are taking consideration of this, so finally Hs equals to A by 1 plus RCS equals to 1 by S by omega 0, where omega 0 equals to 1 by RC. That is the resonant frequency. So this put the value in this particular case, you will be getting that V0 by V1 should have one particular ratio, that is 1 by R2 by R1 divided by 1 by 1 plus RCS. Okay. So fine. Now the first order active high pass filter. So high pass means capacitor is in the top position, but low pass filter means capacitor in the low position. So I am doing the same, the remaining portion of the circuit is fixed. So here V0 by V we can directly write as 1 by R2 by R1. This is R2 by R1. Okay. So here that is a Vi. Now what is Vi minus V? Vi minus V by 1 by ISC. S is j omega and C is given, so that is V by R. Okay. So by equating each and other side we will be able to find out that V equals to this one and Vi minus V by 1 by SC equals to V by R. So by equating we will be getting that particular voltage of V0 by V1 right here. Okay. So this is can be enlarged in a maximum way, that this is a main circuit, that V0 by V1 equals to Hs equals to A by 1 by S by j omega. So that is a full class of this filter propagation, active and passive filter. So in the next class I will discuss something on that graph theory and how you can use this graph theory for calculation of the circuit analysis. Thank you very much. See you early next in my next class. So goodbye.